me. UMass and St. Joe's was game number 1, Richmond and High Point game number 2. It's been a busy afternoon here at Garber Field, and each of these teams trying to book their way into the championship. I'm Nathan Strauss alongside Coach Sis Rob Cross, and we should have a thrilling game today featuring 2 of the conference's best scorers, Dalton Young of Richmond, and of course the tremendous goal-scoring ability of Braden Maye for High Point.
Yeah, no shortage of swagger, skill, and talent on these 2 sidelines here, especially those 2 young men, and I expect them to light it up here today. It should be a good show.
The teams took the field a little earlier than anticipated, and the Face-Off X has been full of their respective players for the last couple of minutes. The officials for this game taking in the sun. It's been a beautiful day so far as we get underway. Richmond coming into today as the number 2 seed, 4-1 in conference play. They only lost to St. Joe's in their final month and a half of the season. They had been on a nice winning streak prior to that. Meanwhile, High Point finishing in the 3rd spot over UMass, who finished in 4th, courtesy of a 17-10 victory over the Minutemen last weekend. Both sets of fans have traveled extraordinarily well. This matchup finished 9-5 in favor of the Spiders when these 2 teams met earlier on this season. These 2 coaches, extraordinarily disciplined, very vocal, very hardworking, and plenty of notoriety on their coaching staffs as well. It's a real contrast in styles. Richmond, one of the conference's toughest defensive teams. High Point, meanwhile, they are all about the offense. They are a high-risk, high-reward, up-tempo kind of team.
Yeah, when's it showtime? It's always showtime if you're High Point. And Richmond playing more of a control of the tempo. But as you can see right here, coming downhill off a little up pick there, finds the guy inside, turn and rake.
First strike of the game goes to the Richmond Spiders. This was the matchup in last year's A-10 championship game. Richmond really took it to High Point, and there you have it, a nice little fadeaway shot, if you will. We were just talking about the and one circuit a couple minutes ago, and getting the first strike in today's game, Lance Madonna, the 2-time defending A-10 Midi of the Year.
Yeah, Madonna right there with a little step-away jumper, finds the back of the net. Great handle, great execution.
Violation on the face-off. And High Point will get to flex their muscles. They have a couple of extremely unselfish players. An early bid for a pole goal is denied. Zach Vigue, 47 in white, has put together a mighty fine season in the cage for the Richmond Spiders. Many thinking that he might be the nation's leading goalie next year once Entenmann and co. have signed in the pro ranks.
Yeah, these 2 goalies today are both very capable. They're good stoppers, and you see right there, a shot from the point from a long stick midi. Looks like Coach Torpy's giving everybody the green light here today as you see High Point coming the other way.
High Point has the shortest average time of possession in the Atlantic 10. They love to run and gun, but it's a hard task that they're faced with today. The short stick midfield unit of Richmond is thought of as being one of the best in the country, and that includes the likes of Pilling, Nugent, and Gooley, 19, 7, and 36 in white.
And they've had good ones before him. My boy Johnny Armistead, who played a 5th-year football at USC, shout out. So they're no strangers to having tough short stick D middies out there making plays and wreaking havoc.
And we're talking about how this game might be a clash of styles. Richmond likes to slow it down a little bit, let their defense and middies go to work. High Point, meanwhile, all about the offense. When these 2 teams met earlier on this year, it was the defense that prevailed. High Point held to just 5 goals. That's their lowest total on the season. For comparison, they scored more against Duke and Georgetown than against Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, credit to Richmond's defensive schemes, and obviously the young man we spoke about standing tall in between the pipes. When you have balance in both areas, you tend to be pretty successful and limit other team scoring opportunities.
Again, a long possession here for Richmond, looking to go up 2-0 early. Bluff the step down try, a quick shot and a save by Overend, who has put together a very solid season in front of a team that gives up a little bit more on the high danger chances than the other 3 teams in this conference. But that's by design, right? It's a team that knows their strength is in attack, and they've got a deadly duo of Maye and Jack Van Overbeck.
Yeah, the old shoot it before you can turn it over mentality works in their favor. But they haven't had any clean looks except for the first take by number 8 on High Point, their defenseman. And they're having trouble just getting the ball around the perimeter, quite frankly, after they get it out of their defensive end. So expect them to tighten it up. But so far, it's all Richmond here controlling the tempo, and they're taking their time. You can see them here. They're setting everything up, being deliberate, getting the shot they want.
Richmond ranked 18th in the country, the number 2 seed here.
Oh, he hitches, it gets to the middle.
A beautiful feed, Madonna at the double early on. Well, he was frustrated last week. 2 goals and an assist, but 9 shots, and he is making up for it quickly here with an early pair.
Yeah, Coach Shamati's calling his number right now, as you can see. He hitches, gets to the middle, and there's nothing much you can do as a goalie in that situation. But
in Amherst, Richmond an early 2-0 lead over High Point. These 2 teams combined for just 14 goals over the 60 minutes, and already 2 quick strikes from the Spiders. Now it's the Panthers' turn to sink their claws into the web of the Richmond defense. See what I did there?
yeah, I like what you did there.
Thank you. Spiders and Panthers here, game 2 of 2. The winner of this game will take on the Hawks of St. Joseph's on Championship Saturday at 1 p.m., also here on ESPN+. This, of course, was the matchup in last year's A10 championship game. As a quick dodge and a good save by Vignew, he smothers it on the line and is just able to keep it from trickling over the line.
You know, one of my things to watch, you know, after seeing the film on both of these teams was Richmond in the subbing situations offensively, and there you see High Point taking advantage of a great opportunity right from the point, just unlucky, but again, credit Richmond with a great stop there defensively.
Spiders make the clear with 3 seconds to spare. These 2 teams, again, we talked about it right at the top, a contrast in styles. Richmond perhaps more aggressive defensively. High Point will take their shots when they have them, and we saw that earlier with their first shot of the day being a pole attempt right off a faceoff. Now it's the Spiders looking to add on a third as they're halfway through this possession. We've already seen it so far. Laundry now out on the field. Delayed call coming up. A quick try, it goes high and wide, and now we'll get the call. And we talked to these officials earlier before the game started. These are some guys who you're familiar with.
Yeah, I've you know, spent a couple summers with the officiating crew out here today, and you know, they said based on the way, you know, facial expressions were, you know, on both coaching staffs, that this was going to be a physical contest here today, and they might be busy this afternoon.
So 30 seconds of man-up time now for Richmond.
Richmond coming out in a 3-3 set, everybody above the cage.
And
they're shutting them. Yep.
Young is the trigger man of this man-up sequence. We saw him here at Garber Field 2 weeks ago. Just a terrific, terrific player. The only member of the A10 to be named to the final 25 for the Tewaaraton Award shortlist for the best player in collegiate men's lacrosse.
You see High Point shutting O'Neill here, and they're getting their 4-man rotation around the perimeter, forcing an outside shot, getting a nice save there. Good man down stop here by High Point.
Saved by Overend, a Maryland kid. His father was a player for the Ohio State University Buckeyes. 6 games his freshman year, and has played in almost all of them this year for the Panthers. As that's an unforced error, and we've seen a couple in the early going so far.
Yeah, a couple, 2-3 of them here out of High Point. Expect him to tighten up the sticks, you know, maybe loosen the grips up a little bit and settle in, get on the board here. But, you know, another defensive stand here for High Point against Richmond and their potent attack as you see O'Neill coming up from X here.
O'Neill, just a pure goal scorer, a finisher of the highest caliber. Madonna, meanwhile, hunting a first quarter natural hat trick, and he fires it up top. And what a goal! The vision of Madonna, who has taken over, and it's 3-0 Spiders.
Madonna with an absolute ear bullet here of a feed as he hits the streaking cutter for Richmond. And I like Madonna's game. He reminds me of Stephen Rafis from Syracuse, who played in the PLL. Just body control, hard to cover on the perimeter, but capable feeder and shooter, as you see it right there. Richmond cashing in for an early 3-0 lead here over High Point.
Joe Sheridan with the goal. Last year, member of the A10 All-Rookie team. That's his 7th of the season. Last year, 16 goals. And he started every game. Westchester, Pennsylvania native.
Great little spot. Limoncello's down there, Westchester, Nate. Check it out sometime if you want to get your grub on.
The next time I'm at Westchester University, I'll be sure to check it out. Home of the Rams.
Go Rams! Yeah.
Look at that.
I was going to say go Rams.
Bringing some esoteric knowledge to the broadcast wherever we wind up. There's a good amount of geographic diversity between these 2 teams, including Jacob Joy, the starter on defense for High Point, a Texas native. His family has deep Idaho ties. High Point recruits the South very heavily. They are, of course, the southernmost men's lacrosse member of the A10. They're looking to get on the board. Here is Van Overbeck and Maye are.
No reset there. It looked like he might have got a, maybe it was a defenseman, but a good set there from High Point. You see Mayu kick it back to Van Overbeek coming up the hash. Couldn't quite connect.
44 goals this year for Braden Maye, who is tremendous no matter where they set him up. This time they had him starting at X, and he'll dish it off up top, down to 20 to shoot in this possession. Quick spin move by Tommy Meehan, who uses the roll dodge to set things up. Now again to X. Dancing around the crease, but 10 seconds to find something, looking for an outlet.
And High Point wisely getting their long poles on for the change of possession coming up here. They're not done yet.
The flag comes out. They draw the flag in the final 2 seconds of the possession. And we'll see the call.
I love the initial defensive stand there from number 6, Richmond. Hunter sitting down, playing big boy defense on Mayu. And he's going to have his hands full today, but great job there. So far, so good.
So a minute of man up time here as Jack Fabian will take the knees. 34 consecutive starts, make it 35 now with the beginning of this game. 18 ground balls, 10 caused turnovers. No career points, by the way. That is a true stay-at-home D, but someone who is heavily relied on for this Richmond setup.
Absolutely, and they're going to continue to rely on him here throughout the championship weekend here in A10 play. See High Point kicking in some motion here. They go to a 1-4. They look inside, not successful. Richmond with a stop here. Who else coming up with it? Number 6, Hunter. As he rolls away for pressure, kicks it back.
Hunter Smith, a guy from your neck of the woods, Rochester native, all rookie.
Vegas.
Yeah, a former national team player at the box lacrosse level.
He's a great player.
As a younger player.
High Point with some nice motion there. They get some crisscross applesauce with the 2 inside guys, but unable to handle it. I believe it was number 36 maybe for High Point. Couldn't reel it in. But good set there, unlucky.
Matt Lutzel, number 36.
And that last stand defensively for Richmond, you want to try to limit your fouls or not foul at all at the end of the shot clock there, but lucky to escape that one unscathed, if you will.
Here's O'Neal, carries it all the way around, sets up for the question mark, but they'll force him away. Now they'll bring the double. And now here comes the advantage. A quick bouncing shot and a good save by Oberend.
He tracked it, and I like High Point sliding to the roll back there. Second slide coming from the crease, a little combo package. And I believe High Point got a piece of it, so they got a fresh 60 here to work with.
This Richmond offense kind of similar to St. Joe's, and a really good check there in around the hands.
Johnny Adams. That'll be caused turnover 19 of the year, I believe, for him.
These two teams, especially High Point, with the aggressive up-tempo game they play, they do cause a lot of turnovers, but it's a different kind of defense than what we saw earlier today with St. Joe's, where it's an extremely, I would say, warlike 10-man ride. Instead, it's a lot of one-on-one matchups, and taking advantage positionally that has led to them putting up some big numbers. And we'll take a look soon at the A10 leaders in caused turnovers, because there are some
here. Sorry, Nate.
Yeah, subbing advantage briefly.
But yeah, you're right. And like, what High Point has to do is turn these mistakes into points at the other end if they want to hang with Richmond here early on in the first quarter, down 3-0.
They slip off the screen. Maye turns provider. Now from X. Question mark try, and Vigu was there to cover it. It goes out over the pipe anyways. Don't mind that look, and good job of backing up as well.
No, question mark, one of the better shots in the game when you're dodging up from X, as you see Van Overbeek right there. But, you know, Richmond so poised defensively. They get their hand, they get on your hands so quick. That might have been a goal.
I think that went in.
Might have hit the bottom iron there, Nate.
It looked like it went off the base of the stanchion, and
they got a challenge flag?
The challenge flag comes down immediately.
Tarps.
As we'll take a look, perhaps, and yeah, it certainly looked like from there that might have crossed the line.
The question is, did he stay out? But you want to advocate for yourself there if you're an offensive player in general, right? Like, let them know you stuck it low and away.
We do have video replay here.
Year one, baby.
And we will take another look. John Torpy, the man who
He's the man.
He is the man. He's the coach of this team, the only coach in program history. So they're taking a look here. John Torpy, aggressive, high-octane player when he was a player, and now using his challenge early. We'll take a look. Yeah, I mean, that certainly looked like it goes off the base of the...
Yeah, you can tell just by the way it kicks back out.
It kicks back out. So I think that's a good goal from up here, and of course our officials doing a great job down there. And the challenge flag came out immediately. John Torpy, time as a coach at Ohio State, Dartmouth, and Denver. He was one of the youngest associate head coaches in the country out there in the Great Western League with the Pioneers, and was hired to lead this team in its inception. You actually coached against him when High Point played their first ever Division I game. And they kept a pretty good Delaware team to what ended up being a 2-goal defeat, but man, were they organized.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, like, just coming off a first-year program myself, that High Point team with guys like Thistle and Lomas, and I forget who their goaltender was, but he was a stud. And, like, you know, to come out with a 2-goal win against them, I mean, he had them humming in year one. And I believe they went on to win their second game of their first season ever right after they played us. But, yeah, Coach Torps, he's a great coach. He's a relentless recruiter, and he's got that culture of that program established. Like, those guys are all in and they play hard.
They have a tremendous staff. I asked Coach Torpy earlier this week what he thinks of his staff, how he assembled his staff, because they've got guys from everywhere, guys who coached at the club level, the Division III level. You've got Logan Wisnauskas, who was the best player in the country 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And so you've got a really different mix of guys. Sometimes coaches like to hire guys they've worked with in the past, and they're going to wave this off. I think they're going to say no goal, which to me suggests inconclusive evidence to give it.
Yeah, if they can't overturn it, boy, I don't know. Well, again, they got the video monitor. I don't know if they have a different angle than us, but based on the way the shot kicked back, I was under the impression it was a goal.
Now, a reminder that, as is common, the official review is not the broadcast camera. They have a different camera they take their replays from. So it's possible that what they were seeing was different from what we were seeing, and of course it does have to be clear and conclusive to overturn. So Richmond survives, and now they will advance.
High Point with a high-pressure half-trap field ride. Sorry.
Madonna has been the story of this game so far in a team where Dalton Young and Aiden O'Neill get a lot of the goal-scoring plaudits. Madonna really makes this team click, and I think we might get a push in the back, but they're not going to give it. So
make-up call for the no goal. He's got to move it in 5 yards.
Well, now
everybody needs to calm down here.
Yeah,
they got to move it in 5 yards.
We talked to this officiating crew earlier, right before the game, and the big emphasis was
unforced turnover.
And maybe a ball don't lie moment, but the emphasis was, look, we know these coaches are going to be in our ears all game.
Oh, yeah.
We're the ones in charge.
Right.
And there is that level of respect that is established, without a doubt.
Sometimes that's easier said than done. You know, as a coach, I'll put myself out there. I'm guilty of it myself sometimes. But, yeah, I mean, you got to trust the officials to make the right call. And, you know, just get your team through these intense moments, if you will. Keep them level-headed. Because if you're going nuts on the sideline, then your team is, and composure is key first and foremost.
Now here's Dalton Young, one of the best players in the history of the program. That's over a decade old now. Now O'Neill backing his way down. O'Neill will dish it off instead. Still half the clock to work with here.
Good sit-down defense by High Point on O'Neill there. I mean, he's a handful. He's a big fella. He goes hard.
A big fella indeed. Again, O'Neill, quick try at the near post, goes wide.
O'Neill, another big fella. There's some big dudes out here today, both games, both teams. Unreal.
That was Alpa who had that shot. He's oftentimes the first guy off the bench for this unit. They do have really good depth to the Spiders. Down to 50 to go because they say that was a save rather than a miss outright. So Richmond looking for their 4th consecutive goal to open this game.
High Point is sliding to the rollback, something to you know, keep in mind here. See a mishandled pass by Richmond on the perimeter.
And Alpa just muscled off that loose ball. This is a High Point team that, while the goals against number isn't great, they are first in the conference in ground balls per game, first in caused turnovers per game, first in goals and goals per game, and they're first in assists as well. So they've got a lot of polarity in their team. They're aggressive on D and aggressive on offense. It's just figuring out the middle third of the field that has sometimes been the issue.
Boy, clearing has been an issue today for High Point. But yes, the one thing that jumped out to me as I'm looking over the stats, this week leading up to the game was the 500 plus ground balls that High Point had. It was like 586 coming into this or something like that. That's awesome.
They also utilized 2 different face-off specialists, both to good effect. They are the best face-off team remaining in the Atlantic 10. It was actually Hobart who led the conference in terms of face-offs. Down to 2 minutes to go, and High Point has really not had that many opportunities to flex their muscles with their #1 scoring offense. Richmond doing a good job of dictating the tempo and flow, which is what we saw earlier in the season between these 2 teams down in North Carolina. Now they're closing space. A bobble there, selling out.
Here.
And again, the patience. A quick try and a snipe. That finds Twine on the missile. And it's Lucas Olsen with his 16th career goal, his 7th of the season.
Olsen with a little sidearm gunslinger release here, buries it off stick. And this is hard as a goaltender, especially when it's coming from the point, as you just see him unload it here. I'm sorry, it was stick side, but a great shot.
Well, Olsen has gotten hot as of late. He's been playing his best lacrosse of his career. That's his 4th goal now in his last 2.5 games. Junior from Calgary, Alberta.
And one thing I've noticed here, Richmond, a lot of their goals are coming from the interior.
And here they come again. They are relentless, and it's Dalton Young. Young's fall-away shot is saved by Overend, but it's turned over nearly. It's loose in the crease, and now everyone will untangle themselves.
Unreal effort there. Good stop, good recovery. You see how important it is after a stop to get the ball smothered, get it to your goalie, get it up and out, because you want to get the heck out of there.
This feels like a possession where High Point needs a goal. They need to get something from this first quarter to take into the second.
Here as High Point subs. Well, it shows you how slick Mayu is, carrying it to the corner, kicking it back out top so High Point can start their dodges from the point here. You see 51 with a little shake trying to get top side.
Tommy Meehan, he is an incredibly skilled player. He'll dish it off here. Ooh. A long skip pass. That's down. A dangerous one. And it's bobbled again. Again, the poles and the shorties on this team are tremendous. And an injured player on the far side, and the whistle will go.
Yeah, he was holding himself after he passed it off, and hopefully he's okay, but I don't know if it was a contact. Like, he'll play anybody anywhere as long as I've known him. Just an aggressive guy, and he wants High Point to be on that level. So if you want to be the man,
you got to beat the man.
That's right, baby.
This is a team that had 5 ACLs last year, 5 ACL injuries, 8 season-ending injuries by the time they made it to the A10 championship game. They're looking for the first goal of their contest today in the semis, trying to manufacture something before the end of the first. A quick double up top and a great stick to knock it away. And 8 seconds to run if you are the Richmond Spiders. Here they come. Can they beat the buzzer? A shot, a bouncer, and a good save by Overend as the horn sounds. Opportunistic there for the Spiders. They couldn't poke one free, but they blank High Point over 15 minutes.
Do it in this conference.
Well, one of the most fun things about this matchup is that it is a matchup that has been played almost 2 times a season since both these programs were founded. These are 2 new-ish programs, just over a decade old for the both of them. This is now their 18th all-time meeting. Wow. They have played in almost half a dozen conference championship games alone. Richmond, by the way, has made 10 consecutive conference championship games, looking for a win here to push that otherworldly streak to 11.
Incredible stuff. And both of these programs, I think that speaks volumes of the universities as well as the coaches. They're doing a fantastic job.
High Point still looking for their first marker of the game, having to battle through this impressive unit that the Spiders have on D. Of course, they are coached up so well by Paul Richards, the DC of this Richmond team, someone who has a ton of respect around the lacrosse community.
Another good upstater, Coach Pauly.
Something's in the water. A quick try on the submariner, but it's backed up by High Point. Looking to get something going here. Jack Van Overbeck, number 13, will be the one to bring this in. Minnesota kid, leads the conference in assists. Right. He and Braden Maye make quite the pair.
Broken play here, see if High Point gets one.
And they do. Sometimes it's all about the positioning, and it's Jack Sawyer, one of the most experienced players on this team in his redshirt senior year, who gets number 18 of the season and the first of the game for the Panthers.
And you see him trying to find the, you didn't see it here, but a few clicks back, he had a guy open inside, but the pass aired to him. Ground ball, little face dodge underneath, far pipe, turn and rake. Way to execute. They don't ask how, they ask how many.
and the fans have traveled well from North Carolina.
You know, you made a comment about these two teams knowing each other well, and pregame, both coaching staffs, they didn't say good luck, they said, hey, good to see you again. I thought that was pretty funny.
They have never, the quote from Coach Torpy was, Richmond has never won a conference without going through them at some point, and
right.
It is true. This is their their sixth meeting in the postseason. And each of these teams has claimed title game victories over the other. And again, they shared a conference in the A-Sun for a year. They shared a conference for the next 8 or 9 years prior to the A-10 forming as well in the SoCon. And now they're here again. They are inseparable.
Yeah, I love this conference.
Quick step down try goes high and wide from Nick Murphy, who is one of their most dangerous man-up players because of that shot.
Yeah, some high heat there coming from the big fella.
These two teams trying to force a matchup, earn a matchup with St. Joe's on Saturday for an NCAA tournament bid.
I like the slide there from Richmond coming from the low stack and not the high stack, you know, where it's an easy C curl for the high point player. And, you know, you got to jam it inside if you're high point. Now high point trying to come back on the ride here against Richmond on the clear. They might have it here.
A shovel pass, they're gonna have to get rid of it quickly, down with 5 seconds to clear, and it's gonna be turned over as it'll be chopped at in the middle third. Oh no, Richmond's gonna come up with it.
Wow.
High Point had 2 bodies and they couldn't make the play.
Good
and
effort
now
both
Aiden
ways,
O'Neill
though.
can settle things down in the shadows that are encroaching on the field here at Garber.
Great effort there from both teams. I mean, if you're High Point, you obviously want to get that one, but give credit to Richmond for sticking their nose and hanging in there, getting possession of the ball here.
Lance Madonna, the 2-time A-10 Midi of the Year. Syracuse, New York kid, the lacrosse hotbed of upstate New York. So consistent in that region.
I believe his brother was a Syracuse Orange player. Surprised they got him out of upstate. Good job there on, again, recruiting, but that goes back to Coach Shamati and Coach Richardson. You know, they're upstate guys. You know, good lacrosse players up there in the 3-1-5.
Syracuse putting together a much better than expected season. And here comes O'Neill, the little head fake, the shimmy, and the try goes wide. That was good recovery there because he had the step.
Right, and remember we spoke about it in the first game, like, I watched Young scoring a similar play against St. Joe's. This time it's O'Neill, a very similar look where they're dodging at that 45, trying to come underneath. And you got to rely on good one-on-one defense there and trust your goalie if you're not going to slide. You see it right there from High Point there, but good take. You got to keep taking those shots if you're Richmond, in my opinion. And
that was Brenfleck, number 60, the Pole, who is probably the best one-on-one defender on this High Point team. He was an all-conference second-teamer this season. 24 ground balls, 14 caused turnovers, second on the team in both of those stats. And he gets the toughest matchups, and even though he got beat, he recovered well.
Right.
And again, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
That's right, and he did take a good recovery angle, as you see him call it riding the rail. You know, he steps over the back of the net just to get a piece at the last second.
Ooh, quick try, saved. It might have gone off the pipe as well. That was a
reset.
Low angle shot. It will indeed reset. It was Jack Sawyer hungry for another.
Yeah, so Sawyer and Van Overbeek, one thing, you know, it's fine. They're doing a good job getting to spots, but I'd like to see them get another step or two higher on those question marks to increase their shooting angles, especially against a great netminder.
There's the slide. A chance to find someone open, but a swarm down low, and Vigu will come away with it. Let's talk about Zach Vigu, the excellent netminder. He had 12 saves, 5 goals allowed when these two teams met earlier, and he is the co-goalie of the season in the conference.
I love his style of play. He's a big unit, and there's not a ton of wasted movement, and he's got great body control and great poise. And, like, the thing he has in front of him is a fantastic defensive unit, but the thing I love that they're doing, especially here, is they're swarming the ball when it's on the deck. Everybody's at the party. It's get the ball up and out, and, you know, tip your cap to the Richmond D unit there. And my man in between the pipes doing a phenomenal job.
853 goals against, that's 6th in the country, and the
Not bad.
second best save percentage at 582.
How about the goalies in this conference?
It is a tremendous goaltending conference without a doubt. Question mark try goes wide, backed up.
So that's what I was talking about for High Point. You see O'Neill, he's up about 6-7 yards above the cage. He's got a lot more to shoot at. And, like, if you're High Point, you can continue to shoot it that way. You just got to start burying them.
Again, some good aggression here from High Point. 20 left on this possession for the Spiders. Still looking for the first goal of the second Young darts
Good
inside.
slide.
He's closed down, and an excellent slide, as you said, will poke it away. And now this is the kind of game that High Point wants to play. They've got numbers and the trailer. There's the behind-the-back pass, and that will drive Coach Torpy absolutely nuts.
I see the skin on the side of his face turning another shade of red. It's like you love the play, you love the creativity, but it's like when you're down by a couple, like just stick that pass, get on the board, chip away at the lead.
I had a great coach back in my Little League days, Al Mandich, who told me, Nathan, when you're in a hole, stop digging. Now, admittedly, he told me that because I kept talking back to him and he kept making me run laps. I always knew I was destined for up here. I was never going to remain on the field, but it's good advice when you're down a couple goals. You don't want to make unforced errors. Although they have the skill, it's the kind of game where you got to play within yourself a little bit until it gets late and you get desperate. And here they come again, same situation.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. Like, he's more than capable of making that play. I'm not crazy in love with it, with the timing of everything and like where the game's at.
You're better off taking a shot there. You're better off taking a low angle shot, forcing a rebound. Maybe you end up getting lucky and beating Vigu from straight away.
But like, that's a note to you young players watching out there. If that's going to be a part of your game, you know, I've coached players over the years where it is like you got to practice it religiously it's a muscle memory thing and a part of your game.
Right, and it looks great when it works, but when it doesn't, you end up with an equal amount of frustration, I think, if you're a coach. But it has worked this year, too, and both these teams capable of scoring some pretty elaborate goals. And High Point at the end will have a chance to score a goal anyways. Yeah. The offense slowed down a bit here for both teams in the second.
Yeah, High Point looks much more settled in now, but again, Richmond is meat and potatoes, strong, heavy on their defensive presence.
Here comes Maya. He shakes his man and fires wide. And there you saw it, the double move, it opened up so much space.
Yeah, a little stop and go. He was controlling the slide, trying to buy time to kick it back in gear, re-dodge, and get downhill and get a shot on net.
20 to shoot. We'll see if they can set up Maya again. 44 goals, the most in the conference. And an unforced error instead, down to 12 on the clock, and they throw it high and wide into the netting.
And you're going to see High Point start to, press on the ride as they drop into their 10-man here.
Vigu, pretty capable as well as a progressive goalie. He's able to make some pretty elaborate passes. We saw him warming up before the game, and that's an aspect of the modern game that is so important.
Great job by Madonna there. You see High Point slide upfield and O'Neal. Woo!
Yeah, he ate that check from Jacob Joy, who is a physical specimen. His grandfather played football at Idaho. His father played football at Navy for the midshipmen. His sister played soccer at Idaho and A&M, and is a professional player in her own field. So an athletic family, and you could see his eyes light up from here when he saw that he was going to have a target to aim at.
Oh, man, you saw all whites of his eyes there. A little two-man combination from Madonna. Brings one off the iron.
He puts it flush off the pipe.
High Point.
And High Point indeed won the race to the end line, and it was Maye who was actually the closest to it.
That's not going to show up in the scoring column, but that's a headsy play from 55, Mayu and High Point, to get them possession and to try and get on the board here and get another goal.
Maye out of Windsor, Ontario, a midseason All-American. He has been an all-conference selection in every season he has played collegiate lacrosse, someone whose name will likely be on many of the boards of drafting teams in the upcoming draft. Not too long before you start to think about heading down to Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah.
You get to pull double duty.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like a pre-scout and a broadcast opportunity all in one, but
we got eyes everywhere, baby.
High Point looking for a second goal of the second.
Great approach defensively on the perimeter here from these Richmond defensemen. Stick out in front, always arriving on hands. Very, very nice.
Matched up on the pole, but he sheds him, and a quick try goes wide, and High Point will back it up.
And you see, Nate, that's what I was talking about earlier. You see him driving up higher on those question mark shots now, like a much better angle to put your shot on target there as the shot clock winding down to 25 here for High Point.
They're going to have to work something here, and it was deflected, which explains the letting it bounce.
Yeah, I was like, are you going to pick it up? Coming down to 15 ticks here in the shot clock for High Point.
It's Hines who gets a stick through the neck. He tries the bouncer and a beauty. Hines goes bouncer off the underside of the bar. And that's a pretty finish to make it a 2-goal game.
Yeah, bar down.
2010 turned to 2011. It both took a couple years to recruit and build a D1 program. And they have both been right there or thereabouts since that day. And a quick try out of the timeout, and a quick goal on a beautiful low-to-high shot, and it's a one-goal game.
Simple one-more pass, like we talked about. I think they heard us up here. And this is the recipe for High Point. They want it hectic, they want it chaotic. Richmond wants to slow it down, make it a half-field game as you see High Point cash it in here. Looks like Value got a piece there.
It's Dean Demento, I believe, who ends up with the goal. And that's the quick run that we did not see from High Point the first time these two teams met.
Yeah, good sign being in the hole, 4-0 early, back within one here in the second quarter.
Richmond leading the conference in scoring margin. They have outscored teams by 5.1 goals per game over the course of their season. Their only losses this year have been to ranked teams. They've lost to Maryland, Duke, UVA, Georgetown, and St. Joe's, which was their last matchup on Saturday, falling 1 goal short of forcing overtime and a potential A-10 regular season championship. So Richmond goes up 4-0 in the first. High Point now 3 unanswered in the second.
Yeah, you talked about it's a game of runs, right? You got to weather the storm and try to stop the bleeding when teams are going on run, or if your team on a run, it means playing with a lead. Both are very difficult to do.
Alpa turns to the middle. They like to get Young on this wing too when they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he can shoot from both sides as well, and also a very capable dodger. He just makes things happen, right? He is one of those dynamos where you give him the rock and good things happen.
And that's Badana's game right there. That draw dump, as you see, gets a lot of attention.
And that was a shot from Alpa, who is very, very rangy. He generates a lot of force on that shot, but a good save by Overend, who has found his footing here in the second.
I agree, Nate. He shoots a heavy ball. See High Point stepping in here.
Going for the tie, and they got it. Another bouncer. They might have found the key to beating Zach Vigu because they've got 4 goals in quick succession as that one finds Twine.
Extra source of income if you're High Point. Just being unselfish, and that's great. That's a sign of a good team when you don't care who gets the credit, but everybody wants to be on the same page and be successful.
And off the draw.
One-handed lever pass.
Extra pass from Braden Maye, and a shovel shot goal to cap off a 5-0 run for High Point in the span of 7.5 minutes.
Unreal. This is why Lacrosse is one of the best games out there, the best game out there. Watch Mayu with this one-handed lever pass under pressure. This is such a skill. Flips it to space. Hi, how are you? Low and away, turn and break.
Well, Braden Maye amongst the team leader in ground. On the women's side with Denver playing in the Big East, you really do get some coastal conferences now.
Absolutely.
In all aspects of the game.
Yeah, in those conferences, traveling is a part of your preparation, right? Like, you got to be able to handle travel well. Treat it like a business trip.
5 consecutive goals for High Point, and their sideline is really fired up right now. Now, whether or not you believe in energy or vibes, it does get important in these one possession, these close games. Good energy can really swing a possession your way.
Absolutely. When you're in a rhythm, anything can happen, and you're settled in, and you saw the first few minutes from High Point, not that clean, but they've more than made up for it here in the second quarter, being on a nice little run here.
Oh, check out that move to the inside.
Nice
but Vigu is there to recover, and he's going to scoop up his own ground ball. He's harried here. Good pressure, but he'll pass out of it.
Great work out of the cage, and you see what I mean by his stance, his frame. He makes you alter your shot as you see him standing tall there, keeping the top hand up. Not to mention collecting the loose change and making a pass afterwards.
No 10-man here for High Point. They need to sub, and they will just drop off. More of a 9.5 than a 10. They keep Overend in the cage, in the crease for now. We've not heard a whole lot so far today from Luke Graham. 35 goals with 9 assists so far. He was held scoreless against High Point earlier this year too. Shooting 47%, a career high.
Wow, 47%. That's ridiculous. I mean, those are good numbers, like plain and simple. That's impressive. But this is an important possession for Richmond coming back here. They're going to dig deep in, as you see, 25 ticks in the shot clock and work for a great shot.
They're looking for it here.
Very patient, very poised. O'Neal coming up the hash.
From the hash, down to 15 in this possession. Looking for an option. Up top, fake the step down try. Extra pass. Here it comes. Madonna's shot off the
Brings
pipe.
it off the iron. Nice
He has
ground
hit
ball.
the post now twice,
Oh.
and a turnover in front, and an
Dang.
easy goal to tie it up. Aiden O'Neill, Johnny on the spot. And it's 5s here at Garber Field.
They say timing is everything. O'Neill coming back. I mean, this is a crazy sequence here. Brings it off the iron. Ground ball first time. That baby's humming, but not in love with that decision. Putting a lot of pressure on your goaltender there in that situation. Just, you know, you got to continue to carry pressure and try to find the next available guy to throw the ball to.
It's so tough, too, because High Point has played such a good second so far. They've been almost mistake-free. Their lone mistake was that BTB pass when they were in transition, but they recovered by getting the ball back. Now we're all tied up. The first goal in over 15 minutes. And the official pointing the way of the Spiders here.
Hoban doing a nice job at the X for High Point. He might have him by a couple, but that's been a pretty good battle here so far today.
Hoban 53, Accardo 43. They split that about 40-60. Accardo takes the majority, and they win it at 56 and 58% clips. Meanwhile, Jared Chenoy has had himself a pretty good season as well, over 50%. So Richmond looking to retake the lead on this possession after really a goal that was built on effort and timing rather than
right place, right time.
Rather than beating a man, right?
Absolutely. And it shows up in the scoring column, right? But both teams right here, we're thinking you got to win the last 2 minutes of the quarter with about a minute and a half to go here. You got to dig in, get a stop. You got to execute on offense and get points on the board.
Here comes O'Neill from near side to far. He'll dish it off.
Neal's a big kid. He's strong. Strong Dodger on the perimeter.
Speaking of strong Dodgers, really everyone on the perimeter for this Richmond team is capable, and you're getting a look at it here.
Good
Dalton
hesitation.
Young chopped free. It's loose and turned over. Ground ball pick up for High Point.
Brentflick, excellent patience on that trail check, just waiting for the right moment as you see him do a little drop check, put it up, down on the deck. High Point ball with under 50 ticks on the clock here in the second quarter.
Braden Maye. They set him up on his shooting side on the near wing. A chance for the last shot. A chance to take the lead into the half in the second of our 2 8-10 semifinal games.
Hard to believe it's already the second quarter here.
This game has had great flow to it. After a choppy start, really the last 20 minutes have been exceptional. Looking to set something up here with 20 to shoot.
Going a little big little action on offense for High Point.
Pass up top,
Great
but it's
nugget.
deflected. Really good awareness, and Richmond with numbers if they hurry, and they will.
Look at
Roll
the
dodge,
effort.
roll
Oh,
dodge
baby.
from your pole.
Hunter Smith, one
A
more.
quick try, a
What a
bouncer, and a
save.
great save by Overend, who will win the race to back it up with 1 second remaining.
Great back and forth action both ways
It
here.
was Tommy Stoll who carried that almost 50 yards himself to take it.
Relentless effort there from Tommy Stahl, to your point, Nate, and that could be the difference in a
Your High Point, by the way, with the conference's leading assist man, the leading scorer, but Richmond with the leading
yeah.
points getter all combined in Dalton Young, who is looking to get active here in the second half. Face-off won
Goalies
by
and
High
attack
Point.
units in this league are insane. Like, just potent. A lot of firepower.
Hoban again coming away with that face-off win, and now he will check out, and High Point will look to push here, maybe 4-on-5, 4-on-6. They've done that a little bit over the course of this season. You've mentioned it. They don't always wait for defenses to get set up. If they think they can work a shooting angle, they'll take it.
Yeah, and I've also seen Richmond do it, and I was kind of curious like how they were going to play that today, but it looks like they're kind of like, you know, a little vanilla.
And a quick try, and a beautiful feed down low, and an early strike has High Point on top.
Little back pedal shooting here as you watch him slip out to space. No cradle shot. Good sweep, finds him. Wastes no time putting the ball in the back of the net.
Beautiful feed there from Colin Cook, 16th point of the year for Cook. And this is now where we're seeing a little bit of the face-off advantage coming into play. 9 of 13 have been won by High Point. Jared Chenoy struggling, uncharacteristically so far today.
Right, and possession's 9/10 of the law, right? And if you're High Point, you're getting that many more first-time possessions, which increases scoring opportunities. So, you know, an area of the field to watch as you see him jump there. He didn't get that one. Oh, yes, he did. Sorry about that, Nate.
So to the bench he will go. As
switching behind on these picks now, Richmond. And
they went away from Chinoy there, by the way,
right
on that faceoff. So interesting stuff to see what man takes the faceoff X going forward. But now 10 of 14 in favor of High Point, who are up by 1 and looking for their largest lead of the game. They've led by as many as 1. They've led 5-4 and now 6-5.
And if you're winning faceoffs and you're a team that's going on runs, that's that much better quality of life for you.
And they're getting downhill, low angle try, and that one will go off the pipe and out of bounds. And he is not afraid to shoot from anywhere. Sawyer already with 2 goals today. He is maybe the 3rd man in this unit, but he's a pure shooter.
Yeah, I mean, steps in, lets it fly. I mean, these goalies, I give them credit for standing there, staring down 100-mile-an-hour shots.
I mean, some teams are at their best working east-west. Richmond has a really good east-west game, but you think this High Point team needs to get north-south to have success. And when they can run downhill like they've been doing so far in the second half, now on possession number 2, it bodes well for them against a Richmond D that is best when settled.
Yeah, and they're creating a lot of chaos. They're moving without the ball. They're cutting to space, and they're fading out. You see Cook there, the last take, gets underneath, got away from it at the last second. But they are starting to penetrate the interior of this Richmond defense.
Step down try, bouncer, and what a save by Vigu. The hardest shot to stop in the game, and he goes to a knee and makes it look easy.
I mean, he drops down, matches the release point, punches his top hand up, controls the stinking rebound, gets Richmond up and out, gets him on offense at the other end. High quality save there from Vigu.
And now here comes this Richmond offense. They'll use the screen and carry it all the way around. O'Neal with it. He got the goal to tie us up to go to halftime.
O'Neal, like, he keeps defenses on their toes. He's always pressing the cage, draws a lot of attention every time he touches the ball.
Merklinger will drop it off. Merklinger, a really good ball carrier. He moves defenses around. Also a good scoring touch.
Here's O'Neal coming up from X.
O'Neal tries the bouncer but couldn't get enough on it.
High Point might have a step.
High Point did have a step. Really, really good hustle there to get all the way to the end line. That was Posen who dove. He laid out to win that race.
I mean, credit to Posen, but like, if you're a defensive unit and you can steal shots on the sideline or end line, again, that's that many more first time and possessions in general that you're going to have.
Not a full 10-man here as they keep Vigu in the crease for now. And High Point nearly passed it into a stick. And now here they come. A big hit in front. He gets triple teamed. He has to bully his way through and he'll shovel it out.
Letting the boys play.
Oh boy, indeed. But that was a big boy take right there.
I mean, you gotta love it. Playoff hockey intensity here from both squads. A lot of fun to watch. Yeah, number 3 trying to motor and power through. Ian Can. I can.
And it was Morin Weeks as well. It took a lot of contact there and gets back to his feet.
Get over, Beak.
Here they come, looking for a second. Losing his footing. Was it a trip?
Oh.
No, it was not.
Coach Torpy asking for it there.
And now a push, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a push at the end.
So you can't throw a flag if you're not calling that trip, my opinion.
No, they have done a really good job of letting the teams play. There have not been very many man-up opportunities, I believe, just the one so far today, as Richmond will progress across their restraining line and look to set up to even this game.
And as a coach, you do like the officials to blend in the games, right? That way the teams can, take their crack at it, play physical, play their style of game.
These are 2 longtime rivals. High Point beat Richmond in the 2015 SoCon Championship. They beat him again in the 2022 SoCon Championship. The 18th meeting in 11 years between these 2 teams as that try goes high and wide. It's backed up by Dalton Young. Dalton Young has been quiet by his standards. Just the 2 helpers, no goals just yet. And the conference's leading score.
To your point, Nate, expect him to get cooking here a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if they start going a little 2-man combination with him. But again, the fact that he has 2 helpers, he's still chipping in. That's still a factor.
Young and Madonna both briefly below the goal line. Now they'll dish it up top.
Shutting O'Neal.
And that pass in front, Madonna might have gone through the crease, and it won't matter. And indeed, they do call it in the end. High Point was going to get possession there either way, but the spot from the near side official confirmed what was my first take as well. It was a great feat to get inside, but just the extra step.
Yeah, I mean, that's 2 wrinkles from High Point now in this game with a 10-man ride, and you see him shutting O'Neill there in the half-field set, forcing Richmond to play 5-on-5.
High Point has already outscored in, 35 minutes. Their 60-minute total in the first matchup of the year with Richmond. They're 9-5 in that one, and they're up 6-5 here.
Yeah, they got their money's worth in that second quarter.
2-man game south of the goal line, looking to work. But he's on a pole, one of the excellent,
top side.
Yeah, one of the excellent poles on this team.
Fresh shot clock
Braden McClure, redshirt junior from Towson.
The replay there, you see Van Overby giving a little bit of the cold shoulder to get top side.
Braden Maye spins through 2. Here comes Maye, and he'll dish it off up top. Still plenty of time to work with. Dodging from the outside. A bouncing pass eventually corralled, and he's got a step. Here he comes, and it goes off of Zach Vigue's hand. That was a positional stop. I don't think he saw the release.
He didn't. You know, High Point coming around from X. Fantastic look, but like again, he's got great angles, right? And he gobbles up the rebounds. There's no second chance opportunities. That's high quality goaltending there.
For a game that has only seen 11 goals so far, there has been a remarkable amount of offense.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of fireworks in this game, both ways. Unreal. Good stuff here. That's Lacrosse. O'Neill up top now.
That's what makes this game great. Here comes O'Neill. Aiden O'Neill will carry it all the way to the elbow, and he'll drop it off.
I like these two right here on offense for Richmond.
Madonna and O'Neill. O'Neill carrying, gets a step to the near side on a pull. O'Neill will drop it off just out of the reach of Madonna.
Yeah, keep it over.
And they just say he got there in time by maybe half a step.
Savvy
McClure
play.
was the one there who kept it in. That was a close one. Spiders looking to capitalize on it. Bounce pass all the way to X.
20 ticks.
We'll see what they can work. Dalton Young on a shorty. And Dalton Young making him pay. Bouncer deflects wide and no reset, so 13 seconds to shoot.
Little crossover move there, splitting back to his right hand. Young's a handful up there.
O'Neill, quick bouncer and a save by Overend.
Kick save and a butte.
It's that time of year, right? Stanley Cup playoffs are on.
Who you got?
Bruins in 6 over the Maple Leafs tonight, by the way. That game beginning in about an hour and a half, but before we can turn on the TV there, we've got to finish this one here, and a great ride and a big extra hit after
High Point
the
asking
initial
for interference.
Ball.
Yep,
and I think they got it. Indeed, that was a little bit of an extra shoulder there from 41 in white.
That's a good call, and again, like we saw it in the first game, you see it all the time. Like when your team has possession, you got to hit the brakes and see that mini stop sign on the guy's back so you don't give it right back to the other team after making a good play.
Cap, an all-conference first-teamer, number 41, one of the trio of poles on this team. They've got really good long stick Ds. They've got one of the best units of short stick middies in the country. And they are deep as well. Maye still looking to kick into gear himself. High Point up by 1. They've yet to push the lead to more than this, though, in this contest.
There's so many good matchups out here.
And a good check that altered that shot.
Jake Cap playing some big boy defense, sitting down. Number 37 for High Point, doing a great job without the ball.
Feed. Oh, look at the hit as well. He eats it and fires a shot wide. Boy, Cap delivered some punishment there.
Isaiah Moran-Weeks, I mean, he's creating a lot out here away from the ball in these past 2 series.
Totally legal, right? It's in stride.
I mean, that's the kind of hits they're allowing today. I think they're asking for a reset. But
that shot went wide, so
yeah,
no reset given. I don't think that.
I don't think so either.
And here they come. They still have 25 on the clock.
Look at Smith sitting down. What a matchup there. Him and Van Overbeek. Holy cow.
And that's the time in the offseason on that squat machine, right?
Got that right.
Getting that lower body strength going. And here comes Dalton Young.
And those first-time ground balls are key, too. And it didn't hurt him right there. But if you're High Point, I believe it was number 7, Hines, you don't want to slide upfield to create transition for the other team. Just get in the hole, live to fight another day. But they were able to get out of it scot-free, so I guess it wasn't that bad.
Lucas Olson, 24, carrying right now. He had a goal earlier today.
Oh, now they got a subbing advantage.
Subbing advantage. Olson looking to go to work. Let's see if they can capitalize. At this point, now everyone's back and in position.
Mr. Madonna checking in.
Madonna, 2 goals in the first 4 minutes of this game, looking for a third. Gets a stick in the ribs and is able to dish it off. Richmond looking to tie on this possession, halfway gone with this third quarter. It's back up top, but Donna tries a ripper, but it goes wide. It's backed up by O'Neill.
Jacob Joy playing some good defense out there too, man. Number 4 for High Point. He's got his hands full with a guy like Madonna changing directions, wreaking havoc offensively.
O'Neill turns this way and that. Drops it up top. Madonna lowers the shoulder, swims through 1 through 2. Oh, what a beauty that would have been, but it's fired high and wide.
Leaners will go, and you almost saw it there. Great toughness by Madonna to lower his shoulder and keep fighting to get closer to the net to get that shot off. 10 ticks in the shot clock here for Richmond.
10 to shoot. Here come the Spiders. A beautiful pass, but it goes through the sticks of a couple of players, and that's a turnover here. And High Point gets it right back.
That's a very big stop here this way in the third quarter for High Point.
Neither team can separate at all. As you take a look at the turnover stats here, it's been an even game.
Yeah, I mean, High Point had the bunch of unforced ones early. They've tightened it up a little bit, but yeah, I mean, both of these defensive units for Richmond and High Point, they're getting after these Dodgers. It's a lot of fun. It's a heavyweight boxing match. Blow after blow. Just throwing the lumber, baby. Little shake Zilla there for 15 up top.
And here come the Panthers. That was a pass looking down in front, looking for Sawyer. But it slipped through. Both teams now with similar turnovers on back-to-back possessions. Richmond led 4-0. That's the largest lead of the game.
Right. I think Vigu, if they give him a ground ball on that, he's going to be approaching 7 or 8 ground balls, which for a goaltender, pretty impressive.
Dan Chamati calls out the play,
and
here comes a beautiful shot and an even better save from Overend. That one nearly got all the way through, nearly a little nutmeg, but Overend denies Alpa for the second time today.
Oh, you young bucks out there, make sure you're wearing a cup when you're playing lacrosse.
Goalies double cup too, right? A lot of them?
Whew, I hope so.
I can never be a goalie. Well, are you of the opinion that all goalies are a little crazy all the time?
Where I'm from, they say like people like that are touched. You got to be a little bit to stand in front of a 90 to 100 mile an hour shot.
We call it elite mentality.
Yeah, they're built different.
Built different. It takes a special kind of guy, and especially, you know, there's obviously the lacrosse hockey crossover, but a whole lot less equipment here on turf than you get on ice.
And they wear the least amount of equipment of anybody, too.
And Vigu doesn't even go full pants. Most goalies like to have at least one layer over the shins. Vigu just keeps it simple. And a turnover here, forced, and look at the speed. Look at the quick acceleration from Nugent. And Nugent carries all the way over. He's one of those shorties that we talked about. Look at that finish from Nugent. A short stick midi jumping all the way into the attack to tie us at 6.
Richmond needed that one, boy. And stride for stride, I don't know if he's got a extra eligibility to run like.
It's first-round draft candidates. He is absolutely amongst the elite in the country. He has recorded a point now in almost 60 consecutive games.
When you have a guy like that on your team, or guys like that in your team, you have a chance to win because you're guaranteed points, and they don't ask how, they ask how many. I want to give a shout-out to Nugent on that last goal for Richmond. A little bobblehead celly. Bobblehead cellies will go.
Third goal of the year for Nugent. Always a bonus when you can get offense from your shorties. And here comes High Point looking to retake the lead. Quick try, a submariner won't go.
That is an absurd handle by Mayu. Hitches to get topside, no less, under pressure, gets that shot off. Kicks it through X.
It was actually Hoban there, Fogo, who took that shot.
I know. I mean, he's having himself a nice game.
Lights are on now here at Garber Field. The sun has set behind the Mullins Center behind us. A beautiful day capped off by a scintillating game here. Still 15+ minutes to come. We're all even up. We were tied at 0-0 and 5-5 in space for the step down try, and that was ill-advised as Nick Murphy snipes it home.
And you see in this replay here, High Point starting to do this mid-wing dodge. They get action off ball, kick it to the backside here, takes a little something off it, put a little English on her, near side high off the turf. Nice shot.
A tough spin on that too. It bounced in front of Vigu into the top left corner.
Gotta have more cowbell.
My fever's been cured.
Listen, babies.
I mean, we've turned back, by the way, the clock on some of these references today. We've talked Borat. We've now talked, what, early 2000s SNL?
Bruce Dickinson.
Yeah, you never know what you're gonna, you never know what you're going to get. By the way, Don't Fear the Reaper, a tremendous song, maybe an all-timer.
Yeah, upstate New York band.
Blue Oyster Cult?
Yeah.
Didn't know that. It's the only song I know of theirs anyways, but.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I know a couple other ones, but I couldn't tell you the name.
You'll know it if you hear it.
Yeah, exactly.
7-6 the score, High Point on top. We were tied at 0-0, we were tied at 5-5, and now tied at 6-6 before High Point retook the lead. Richmond's last lead came at 4-3.
Similar set, now they kick it back, this time to 23 again. Oh, baby.
It goes off the underside of the pipe and out. They still aren't sliding over to him. They're giving him that shot, and he made Richmond pay already, and that time nearly a second in a row.
That shot was absolute liquid smoke. And now, you know.
Smoke already? I guess smoke's a gas.
I'm just saying, like Viggy didn't even get a chance to get set for it. That's how fast it was coming. But like High Point, same set. Here's Nugent for another one.
But both
Just
teams all of a sudden finding offense from outside of their leading scorers. Nugent, 3 goals now on the year. And
that's what it takes, especially in May. It might come from an unlikely source. There's a lot of unlikely heroes, whether it be guys doing stuff that doesn't show up in the scorer column or D-Mitty scoring the first one of the year, anything like that. It's all good.
It comes up top to Olsen.
Nice
now to the near side. Trying to find some space on the far side to get something off. Madonna's creeping down if they can get it to him on the weak side, and now they will. Lance Madonna matched up with a shorty. He's got a step. Madonna with a snipe, and the hat trick from Lance Madonna, the 2-time A10 Midi of the Year, showing why he has the respect.
And I said it before the game. He reminds me of Stephen Rafis from Syracuse. Great poise, excellent slickness, little stop and go, near side high cheese here. Bang.
And if they can get him that matchup, if they can get him away from poles and get him on to short stick middies, that is
right. And like he had that space to operate because High Point defensively elected to press out on O'Neal, leaving a little 5-on-5 scenario up top, more room for the offense and Madonna and company to operate and get a goal for Richmond.
Both games today, incredibly tight all the way throughout.
Ooh. And physical play, no shortage of that today.
Jared Chenoy
great ground ball.
End up winning it. That nearly goes into the own net, and it's loose in front. Who's going to get it?
Holy
and it
smokes.
Comes away to a man in white, but a tremendous aggression.
Timeout, Coach Torp.
Timeout by John Torpy to get an extra possession with 41 seconds remaining. That is a take the lead as we take the turn for home.
Hunter Smith stalking his prey in the corner here. He's had a nice game today for Richmond.
Jack Van Overbeck. Overbeck. Smith right on him.
See, no wasted checks though. Everything's on the bottom hand. It's heavy.
And now they'll drop it off. This is the play they designed. Van Overbeck, they faked it. They faked the reverse, and Van Overbeck took it, and Vigyu took it himself as well. 10 seconds left. Vigyu will huck it up, and a chance now for Richmond with 5 to go. A little indecision, and not going to get one off. That was good awareness, by the way, by number 9 in purple to close down the space. That's Nick Rizzo, an all-first teamer, who prevented a quick pass out of that after midfield.
Absolutely. I love the take by Van Overbeck, and I'm not saying this because it's after the fact. You want to change planes, right? He comes up the hash, shoots it high to high, and Vigyu had it sniffed out. But, you know, credit to Richmond for getting a high-quality stop at the end of the quarter here. We will take the break, but Coach Torpy has brought his team back. Yeah, Coach Torpy and Coach Shamati have great staffs, and as a coach, you want to surround yourself with great people. And shout out to Coach Cassidy, who's a phenomenal human being, a great lacrosse coach who was with High Point in the early years when they were getting things underway. Chenoy wins his 6th faceoff of the game. He has struggled, but he wins a big one there. And a great hand by the pole, and it goes just wide. Nearly a go-ahead pole goal to begin the 4th. That was an absolute rip from Jake Cap. And a race to the line won by Richmond. And credit to Overend there for staying his ground. I mean, he gets warmed up by Logan Wisnauskas, Maryland stud, and now in the PLL. So it's not like he's not seeing shots that are humming. Yeah, arguably the best scorer in college lacrosse 2 years ago. Maybe the most complete player in that year's class as well. And he's warming you up, and you're a sophomore? Yeah. It bodes well for the future in Cage for High Point. He has done a good job of recovering
after an early salvo to begin the game.
O'Neal from X.
From X, he tried the bouncer on the wraparound. It didn't go, but it's backed up well. Picked up. A chance in front, and denied by Overend and maybe a little bit of the bar as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great angle, right? And he tried to get a quick shot off at goal line extended, which does work sometimes, but you know, we've been spoiled with the goaltending here this afternoon. All four goalies have absolutely brought it.
That was Gavin Creo, by the way, on that try. And he's an all-rookie team member, also a tremendous lacrosse family. I saw his older sister play for Holy Cross a good amount this year, one of their better all-time players as well.
You see Cap on the support defense there on Mayu, arriving with a heavy. Good stuff.
Each team knows the next goal will put them in front, and now the fake, and now the drop pass, and it's picked up by Maye. Oh, look at that, and it goes high and wide. He tried the spectacular, and fortunately, Van Overbeck is there to back it up.
Yeah, BTB special, little possession shot. What is going on here?
A conversation occurring here between a couple of players, and
maybe he's hurt a little bit.
We see a sub coming in.
For 36, Joe Gooley. Looks like he's holding his shoulder kind of funky. And he's having a nice game, number 36 for Richmond, playing some sit-down defense.
So the conversation was whether or not to reset, and they'll reset to 60. Although not entirely sure why, because that shot was just a bit outside.
I don't think Richmond ever had possession, did they, to warrant the reset?
I don't think so either.
Right. Well, if you're High Point, you take it.
60 seconds on the clock. It all evens out over the course of the game,
yeah,
right?
It'll work itself out.
Indeed it will. A quick pass to the far side, and now straight away up top. Rizzo.
Man of the hour, Mayu.
And now Braden Maye.
Watch him try to get underneath.
Maye draws the double. Now to the far side. Cracks showing in Richmond's setup. And a good shot there, but it's well backed up as well. Down to 38 now to shoot. That only took 22 seconds.
All right. And High Point's having a lot of success with these backside wing looks and redodges and shooting.
And a move to the inside, a dish, but wasn't ready to shoot behind the
Showtime.
back pass, and that one wide. That's the third BTB we've seen. That was the closest to finding Pater.
I mean, the touch he puts on this pass, this is an absolute dime. Great handle. Good defense by Richmond, too. That's not an easy cover.
15 in this possession. Quick try, whistles wide.
I'd like to see the shot tally now. High Point's starting to mix in, pepper in some shots here.
That was Colin Cook on that try, and now it'll be the first and best look. Then Overbeck dodges away. 7 to go. Pass in front. Maye! Oh my, Maye! He puts High Point on top. 8-7.
Oh my Lanta, BTB fake, and he stuffs it low. This is an example of the game slowing down for this guy. Great feed from Overbeck. BTB fake through the wickets. Unbelievable. Roll the highlight reel.
That has been the most common assist-to-goal combo in the conference this year, by the way. Jack Van Overbeck and Braden Maye. And Maye gets goal number 45 of the season.
That's a great goal late in the shot clock as well. And if you're Richmond, you want to know why that shot clock was reset in the first place.
And it's picked up here, and the Panthers can look to take a 2-goal lead, which they have not done yet this game. We'll mention that High Point used a timeout late in that third. And as this game gets closer and closer to the final couple of minutes,
gotta get it over.
Gotta get this one over. 1 to go. They're not gonna get there. I don't think they're going to get there. They are not, and that is a good call because it was about a second difference, but right on time.
It was like a half a step, right? But I thought they had Ryan Hines, number 7 for High Point, initially on the box side here in the clear. I don't know if they didn't see him or wanted to redirect, but nonetheless, here comes Richmond.
And now Richmond playing with urgency, looking to tie it up.
And you don't want a snowball thing to start happening here where it's one little thing leads to another, and then before you know it, Richmond's in the lead if you're High Point.
Madonna, number 2, has been the standout player in this area of the field today for the Spiders, and he has it back straight away.
He's a handful.
Reigning Midi of the Year twice over. Trying to find an angle. Didn't like the matchup, so he'll dish it across instead. And now he'll get it back up top, but it goes in and out, and it's loose in the crease. Scramble for it.
It's getting hairy. Ooh.
And it's in the crease, so possession will go to the Panthers.
I mean, give Madonna credit, like, He was handcuffed with like a 90-mile-an-hour fastball that he caught momentarily, but give High Point credit for picking up the loose change on that broken situation after Madonna wasn't able to quite connect there.
Yeah, he has been
Good
impressive
initial
today.
handle, though. Yeah, he's fun to watch.
Lance Madonna now 7 consecutive games with 2 or more points. As the wind has picked up, as the intensity has picked up here, and the temperature has dropped as well at Garber Field.
Need a little wind here. High Point kicking it through X.
Let's see if they can take a 2-goal lead for the first time today. They cannot. Neither team has led by more than 1 since it was 4-2 Richmond in the very beginning of the second. They're going to say this was a crease violation on the follow-through, and there you see it right there. He couldn't tip-tap his way out of it.
And he almost like gets the second catch and bats it in, but Richmond there smothering the interior of the defense there to keep High Point out of, scoring another goal.
It's been a quiet game for Dalton Young. No goals for him today. We'll see if they can try and get him some touches. They've got him right now around 8 meters out.
Yeah, and
instead
he's
it's
got a
O'Neal.
short stick too, to your point, Nate.
And now here comes. He's going to spin off, and we'll see what they work. Madonna to the right. He'll drop it off. Extra pass, quick firing shot. And a race to the line is won by Richmond.
Yeah, good thing, too.
Creo backs it up.
And Creo, he's not shy. He'll test the waters from X, try to turn the corner as well.
Creo denies the screen, gets the step, and Gavin Creo fires it home and punctuates it with a stick thrust to tie it back up at 8.
Spectacular individual effort here. He learned his lesson last time, taking one more step coming up. Buries it. That's a big goal. Fist pump, Selly. Great job by Tenon White.
Another Long Island kid, another hotbed of lacrosse, Rockville Center.
Everything bagel, salt, pepper, ketchup.
And if you go down to Jersey, are you a Taylor ham guy, a pork roll guy?
You know, I've heard all this fuss about these Taylor hams. I can't say I've ever had one, but I certainly want to try. Oh, big face-off win here for Richmond. They need it.
Richmond has not been at their best today on face-offs.
Well, you got to stop
That's
the ball here.
just their 7th win of the game, 35%.
Oh,
but they're looking to take the lead, and a quick try fired wide. But they had numbers, and not a terrible effort there.
I like that Coach Shamati's given his rope unit the green light, because they are certainly capable. And you know, we saw it earlier with the St. Joe's team, but like these guys are just as good in transition, shoot it, more than capable.
Now Richmond, can they retake the lead? It's been back and forth ever since the end of the first, when High Point found their footing again, I should say. O'Neal rolls this way and that, now around the cage. He'll pass it off instead. Now Madonna wants to go inside, gets the screen from Young. Extra pass, step down try.
Bang.
Oh boy, that's a laser. And it's a lead for Richmond.
Henry Alpa checking in.
That's his 7th shot of the game, 3 of which had resulted in saves. And this time, we talked about it from the same spot back in the second. He is a rangy, lengthy kind of guy, and the amount of power he can generate, that was in and out of his stick and into the back of the net in half a second.
All you youngsters out there, that is textbook overhand heat, getting it out quickly and accurately. Nice job. High Point's a little upset. They thought there was some interference on the pick play there, but nonetheless, doesn't matter. Makes up for that shot clock situation earlier.
Alpa was the 5th leading scorer on this team, and now High Point can tie it right back up. They're coming quickly. They like to attack with speed.
See all the attention 55 gets from Richmond, even in fast break scenarios. There's a lot of white in the cylinder there on that fast break.
They're going to sub now. Had to get the numbers right. Nothing worse than an offside call at this stage in a 1-goal game.
It's okay to make sure. You always want to give yourself a cushion, not tiptoe the line, whether it be the midline or the box, to cause a turnover for your team.
It comes up top to Maye, the leading scorer. What a move. Maye looks through it. Oh, my!
PT
Wheel
Pier,
snipe
baby.
and Selly.
And you see him own the slide, open up, put it behind his leg, and absolutely bury it. He's a PT Pier, a primetime performer. Does well in the spotlight, as you see on this play right here. Little swag drag, back pedal, whoop!
And he takes that extra half a second to almost daring almost daring a hit to be made so he can convert the and one.
Yeah, you can set up a redodge there, and you can tell where the hot guy's coming from, and what you do is you get teams stuck in no man's land, and my dude just blasts one 5-hole. What a goal. What a game.
And now a face-off win for Richmond the other way. Chinoy drops it off. Quick try. Flag comes out, and we'll have a man-up try for Richmond.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good call. I don't mind taking a penalty here. Just, I thought he was holding him before with a free hand, but let's see if it was after the play here. Looks like he might have taken a little high noise around the chin area. Unnecessary. You got to dig in your heels here, and if you're the man down for High Point, and if you're Richmond, you want to run your sets, find your 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, find your inside cutters, find your skip lanes, take great shots.
Well, Richmond got things started on a hot note. They went up 4-0 in the first, and also as a program, they became the first ever first-year team to make the NCAA tournament 10 years ago. Looking to get back there, but first they've got to get past High Point and then into the championship game.
High Point playing the carries very aggressively.
A bounce pass. Madonna, now Alpa to the far side. He gets it back up top.
Richmond operating in this 13 set.
And now Dalton Young, he's the danger man. They've got him out wide instead of straight away. Underhand pass as they try to collapse this High Point unit. Plenty of space.
Thought we were going to see another one for 13 and white there. A little hammer time. Little carry replace, as you see here, kicking it to X.
Young's wide open.
They're
if they
looking
can get it
inside.
To him. They'll look inside instead, and it's picked up. Good alertness to recollect. Now Alpa to the far side, down to 10 on the man up. Faking the pass, it's O'Neal. O'Neal, they've got Dalton Young wide open in front, and a good check to deny a wide open, a chance at the cage. Back to even strength, but High Point still on the ropes. Alpa, bouncer, it's backed up, it goes high and wide.
Like, High Point's very savvy right there, almost inviting the pass to the interior, then collapsing down with a check to take it away. Good stuff there.
16 seconds as Lance Madonna will carry it in. Crossed the 30-point threshold earlier today, and here comes Madonna looking to create an angle. He'll pass it across, looking for the cut, and it goes all the way through. And he entered the crease trying to make a play on the ball.
Madonna's eyes and hands are always up. He's always surveying, which makes him very dangerous on the perimeter as a dodger and a feeder and a goal scorer. Credit to High Point right there, just throwing the heavy, leaving the stick in his bottom hand to get a stop late in the shot clock there.
Zach Brenfleck, the Philly kid, has had a very good game and a broken play.
Couldn't handle it.
And a good recovery. That was 2 checks at once to take down the ball carrier, but no laundry, no problem. We play on.
Yeah, live to fight another day. Couldn't quite handle it on the broken play, but you value the possession late in the game here, either way.
All tied up at 9 apiece. High Point just 4 wins over Richmond in their previous 17 meetings, but 2 of those wins have been in conference championship games. And a quick try from X, but Vigu is there, showing why he is thought of so highly.
He's a cool customer, just staying his ground, keeping his top hand up, especially in tight. Not the easiest thing in the world, but again, these shooters, when they're coming around from X, you got to mix it up. High to high, low to low, those are easy saves for this level of goaltender that you're seeing here this afternoon and earlier today. These guys are good, man.
Olsen, the Calgary kid, drops it up top.
There's his nickname, the Calgary Kid.
I just made it up now. We'll see if it sticks. Yeah. Madonna.
Put on a T-shirt.
Madonna dancing.
Oh,
that one deflected down in front.
Oh, look at
and
the
Madonna
goose.
shovels it out. And it's picked up by Olsen. That is a very good effort play to keep possession with the Spiders.
I think this game matters to these guys. Holy cow. Get into
Quick
the middle.
Try off the pipe and out. And it's loose in front. We've got bodies in the crease, and that's the call. And again, High Point surviving.
They can get underneath here if they're smart and sub quick.
Had to do some quick math to make sure the numbers were right. That was close, maybe a foot and a half away from 7 men.
Count 'em.
I've never been the biggest counter either. It's been a long time since the elementary school days.
You got to carry the 2.
But you've got kids, so you're teaching them, right?
Yeah,
so
my basic math skills are on point, but long division still gives me issues.
9-9 the score. The next goal will make it 10. I can tell you that much. 50 seconds on this possession, under halfway remaining in this fourth quarter. The winner books a ticket to the A-10 championship game.
Oh, slide off the clear-through guy in the crease. Good slide by Richmond there as you see him slide off the clear-through guy, jam up over back at X. And Richmond ball coming up the other way on the clear here.
I talked to the defensive coordinator, Paul Richards, for this Richmond team earlier this year, and he joked that they're a slide and recover team. They don't have to slide or recover all that much because of how often they win their individual battles. And they've certainly been tested, though, more today.
Yeah, and you see the trust. I mean, even when their shorties are out there, like there's trust. And on defense, trust, communication, and doing your job within the confines of the defense. That's what it's all about. And you're seeing that full dose here today from Richmond.
O'Neal being hounded like a dog on meat as Richmond look to retake the lead. This game is getting into the waning stages. Still owed immediate timeout as well. Tied up at 9. Quick move to the outside, but closed off well. Good angling there. And now O'Neal setting it up. Draw to double team. They had a man open, but they'll pass out of it instead.
They were spying that backslide to O'Neal there, but elected to stay home. Keep your eyes on that.
Dalton Young with a pole on him will pass it off instead. And now they've got the matchup if they want it. Creo, his pass goes all the way through. Who's going to win the race? It will be touched by Richmond, so possession back.
Watch the restart here.
And a quick restart for the Panthers. Quick try, step down, goes wide.
Boy, we'll sell you the whole seat, but you're only going to need the edge. There it is.
182 seconds remaining, all tied up 9-9. The next goal could do it. Neither team wants to burn a timeout here, but this has been a long stretch of contested play.
I thought you said you weren't good at math. That was pretty good math.
Thank you. Here come the Panthers. Van Overbeck off the post and out. Ground ball picked up by High Point, and timeout.
He uses it.
Timeout finally for John Torpy.
I like it.
Don't go anywhere. It is a 9-9 game. The winner and perhaps the next goal scorer will send their team to the A-10 championship. We'll take the break. I'll even up. A scintillating, edge of your seat kind of moment to wrap up this game. High Point out of timeout. Richmond with 2. The next goal could be the difference. We'll see what they drew up coming out of the break. They get it to Maye. Gets through the screen, but it's an illegal screen that gets called. And that is not the execution that you would have wanted, but that was a pretty clear moving screen.
I love the play call. I love how it was drawn up. Just, it's tough when you get a moving pick call right there because you saw him getting topside what looked to be a great opportunity there.
Well, you knew he was likely going to be the guy.
Yeah.
And now Richmond can set something up if they want. They do have a timeout to burn, even if they can't get something here. Madonna drops it off. Up top, Olsen! Lucas Olsen, the Calgary kid, finds Twine to make it a 10-9 game.
Calgary kid benefiting off some hard work from Mr. Madonna as he dodges the alley. Little pull pass back. See it right here, steps into it, hammer time, turn and break.
He has put together a real good game so far today. His 8th goal of the season, but 2 of them so far and the biggest one yet.
Timing is everything, right?
And now High Point, without any timeouts, needs to equalize.
You gotta trust your guys.
They have been the much better team at the face-off X so far today. Richmond's won 3 of the last 4, but this one's scooped up by the Panthers. And they'll look to attack quickly here as they'll carry it over and get their top unit out onto the fields.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Nate. Keep your eyes on 55. And this guy can create too, Van Overbeek. He's a good player.
The second and third leading points getters in the conference, Van Overbeek and Maye. Can they bring this game level? Here is Maye. Gets the screen. Maye to the inside. Extra pass, and the shot fired wide.
You'd like to have that one back, but I was just going to say, I go right back with the same play offensively if you're High Point. You see it right there. Little pass down, pick down, finds them on the backside where they've had good luck all day.
Here they come again. Van Overbeck whips one through. It's going to go all the way through and out of bounds. And now the race is on for Richmond.
Still got timeouts in the bag, too, if you're Richmond. Not sure if he just soaked that bottom check and it disrupted his pass, or just kind of turned it over.
Not enough time. You need a turnover here if you're High Point. They've got to think about getting Overend out here to force a double.
They're going to be aggressive here.
Richmond does have the timeouts if they need or want, and timeout indeed will be taken by Coach Chamati. Boy, what a game this was. It was 4-0 Richmond after 15 minutes. Each goalie with over 10 saves today. Viggy with 10, Overend with 11.
And very smart play by Richmond here, having a defensive player on the offensive end for any change of possession to have a defenseman on the field. See, they shot it.
And they try the shot. It'll go out, but that just shifts the defense around. 43 seconds. We'll see how long they can kill before they take a look at the empty net.
Yep,
they do have another timeout if they can get possession. It's chopped at, and it comes out to Madonna, who has been stellar so far today.
What a game he's had today.
Madonna turning on the Jets. He's still got gas in the tank. He shimmies his way through one. Madonna through two, getting slashed left and right.
He's
now
tough.
Through a third. Oh boy, what a carry here by Madonna. He'll go for the empty net, and that's gonna do it. A superstar showing from Lance Madonna, a 7-pointer. 4 goals, 3 assists, 1 trip to the A10 championship on Saturday.
Impressive stuff from Madonna today. He's a special player. You just see him soaking checks. And sure, why not? A little gravy on the potatoes. Job well done by Madonna. He's my MVP today. And when you got guys like Young who are being contained a little bit, O'Neill, you got other guys that step up like we talked about earlier in the broadcast. Madonna showing you just that.
Face-off win for High Point, looking to make it a one-goal game.
Don't go anywhere.
Right off the face-off. My goodness. And now it's 11-10 on the Fogo goal from Hoban. And you'd expect a timeout here for Richmond without a doubt, but that is a heck of a carry.
And there's not much you can do about that if you're, I mean, he's coming down, head of steam, hands-free, high to low, and we got time for another one either way.
And indeed, it will be a timeout for Richmond, and why wouldn't?
Toward Richmond, that is, on the wings. They're all the way south, trying to defend anything coming out the front door here.
9 seconds to determine it.
But you can pull it back to the wing here like they do and push. Oh,
and
we can't handle
back.
it.
It's trickling in, and
what's the call? They're out of the box.
Out of the box. So 5 seconds, they'll fire it up. A chance to tie, ground ball loose, it's kicked away.
Oh, what a game, what a game, what a game. Been spoiled here today, Nate.
Indeed, we have, and we'll have a 1-2 matchup, a rematch of last weekend's regular season championship decider on Saturday as Richmond withstood maybe the most complete A scintillating, edge of your seat kind of moment to wrap up this game. High Point out of timeout, Richmond with 2. The next goal could be the difference. We'll see what they drew up coming out of the break. They get it to Maye. Gets through the screen, but it's an illegal screen that gets called. And that is not the execution that you would have wanted, but that was a pretty clear moving screen.
I love the play call. I love how it was drawn up. Just, you know, it's tough when you get a moving pick call right there because you saw him getting topside what looked to be a great opportunity there.
Well, you knew he was likely going to be the guy.
Yeah.
And now Richmond can set something up if they want. They do have a timeout to burn, even if they can't get something here. Madonna drops it off. Up top, Olsen! Lucas Olsen, the Calgary kid, finds Twine to make it a 10-9 game.
Calgary kid benefiting off some hard work from Mr. Madonna as he dodges the alley. Little pull pass back. See it right here, steps into it, hammer time, turn and break.
He has put together a real good game so far today. His 8th goal of the season, but 2 of them so far and the biggest one yet.
Timing is everything, right?
And now High Point, without any timeouts, needs to equalize.
You gotta trust your guys.
They have been the much better team at the face-off X so far today. Richmond's won 3 of the last 4, but this one's scooped up by the Panthers. And they'll look to attack quickly here as they'll carry it over and get their top unit out onto the fields.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Nate. Keep your eyes on 55. And this guy can create too, Van Overbeek. He's a good player.
The 2nd and 3rd leading points getters in the conference, Van Overbeek and Maye. Can they bring this game level? Here is Maye. Gets the screen. Maye to the inside. Extra pass, and the shot fired wide.
You'd like to have that one back, but I was just going to say, I go right back with the same play offensively if you're High Point. You see it right there. Little pass down, pick down, finds them on the backside where they've had good luck all day.
Here they come again. Van Overbeek whips one through. It's going to go all the way through and out of bounds. And now the race is on for Richmond.
Still got timeouts in the bag, too, if you're Richmond. Not sure if he just soaked that bottom check and it disrupted his pass or just kind of turned it over.
Not enough time. You need a turnover here if you're High Point. They've got to think about getting over and out here to force a double.
They're going to be aggressive here.
Richmond does have the timeouts if they need or want, and timeout indeed will be taken by Coach Chamati. Boy, what a game this was. It was 4-0 Richmond after 15 minutes.